One of the attractions of Cumbria is, of course, its rurality and its sparsity, and that's what many of us like most of all. But ironically, perhaps, within that sparsity and rurality are the seeds of some difficulty, not the least of which is that we have 269 villages, 314 schools and 25,000 businesses who need not only to be talking to each other, but talking to the national and indeed the international world. And that's why we think that broadband is so important to developing Cumbria economically and socially. So we're very pleased, very proud that the government has chosen Cumbria as one of the leading protagonists of developing, in a sense, rural broadband. In line with the government's objectives, we want to deliver that universal service, and we look to you, the providers, to tell us what you think we should be doing.
What we're looking for in our potential broadband supplier is a supplier that can move with modern technology, be able to realise that Cumbria is a very difficult area to cover and one size doesn't fit all, so they have to be able to use all the modern technology for broadband, which might be microwave, it might be wireless, it could be cable, it could be anything. But they need to be able to demonstrate that they will be able to look at the difficult areas in Cumbria and supply us with at least 2, possibly 5 or more megabytes.
What we're seeing at the moment is businesses are coming forward with issues around speed of connectivity, and that's reflected in the satisfaction rates that are actually falling quite considerably. We're actually in a very competitive market now internationally for potential investment into the county, and realistically there are other areas that investors are looking at that have got a much better offer than we've got. One of the key priority sectors for Cumbria is coming out of the work we're doing at the moment is the food and drink sector. Now the importance of food and drink is that it associates back to our land-based industries and creates a link there. Now for them to develop, it's really important they have access to new markets to internationalise, because the local markets themselves aren't big enough for them to grow the businesses. And we see the lack of connectivity and the pressure on being able to position yourself online as a key drawback to those businesses reaching the potential. We think there's a real opportunity with this project to make a significant sustainable difference to Cumbria, not just to the rural economy, but also some of the urban economies that we've got, that have currently got variable connections.
What will parish councils do? Well, parish councils, in my opinion, are fundamental to the success of this project. Parish councils represent a fixed geography in some respects, and parish councils have different broadband problems. Now, what parish councils can do is to appoint a broadband champion, somebody in that parish to represent the interests, the broadband interests of the community. Now, the hub coordinator must help the parish council feed into the community plan, because broadband must be part of a community plan. They can also help to educate people in the village or in the parish. For example, we have appointed from Carlisle District 2 or 3 broadband champions to become hub coordinators to work with the county council.
I volunteered to become a broadband coordinator because the people in the community where I live are becoming increasingly frustrated with not having a broadband service. They need it for things like education, they need it for business, and they need it for social networking as well. There's a lot of young people in the valley and they're very isolated from other services, so it's good. But we get sort of half a meg on a good day, so the frustration gets more as the applications get more demanding on the bandwidth. We already are involving the community in the project. We've had community meetings because the best people who know how to deliver things in these valleys are the people that live there. They know their terrain, they know their fields, they know their walls, they know where their gateways are. So if we're actually looking at putting an infrastructure in these valleys to supply broadband, we've got to have everybody on board.
We need to be able to drive out to the communities to join up isolated rural areas and parts of big towns. Carlisle, for example, there are areas in Carlisle that have blind spots. So we're trying to give our residents of Cumbria a better quality of life.
Yes, I have broadband internet access, and it's about between 0.8 and 1 megabit per second. I do quite a lot of work from home, which means I'm using the internet for that. So download speeds, particularly being so slow, is a problem. I can wait a long time for applications to download, and so it means I'm less efficient and effective working from home.
I'm Emma Goodman, live in Brampton, and I own Off the Wall coffee shop. But to be honest, I'm not all that happy. We don't stream things very well. You can't sort of watch live TV or anything like that on it. We use Facebook a lot to advertise what we've got on. We have our own website that we update daily, sort of thing, with different events, and yes, it's very important.
I use a broadband for Xbox Live. The speed's supposed to be 7 meg. It's obviously not, because it's not fast enough. And when I play online abroad, when I'm playing people abroad, obviously I've got faster internet and my internet lags out really bad, and it's just not good enough. Faster broadband, definitely. Where do you get it?